morning, everybody, on this rainy Monday in Brookline, Massachusetts, October 25th. Welcome to the Safety Net Brookline Interactive Group show dedicated to domestic violence awareness. As you all know, October, or I hope you know, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And in that vein, we have extremely special guests today. We have Cheryl Ann Snyder, the Emergency Management Coordinator of Brookline, Massachusetts. And with her is Sophie Gordon, who works with her in the Emergency Management Department. Cheryl has been involved in disaster preparedness and response in Brookline for decades. She's the first Emergency Management Preparedness Coordinator in the new offices over on Hammond Street. She has an MS in healthcare from Boston University. She is on the board of Animal Response Coordination, and she lives in Brookline, and she's grateful to be part of the resilient community that we have. Sophie Gordon has been the Emergency Preparedness Buddies Program Coordinator for the town since 2016 and thoroughly enjoys working with the program's elders and volunteers. One of her accomplishments has been creating educational programs about emergency preparedness for seniors from falls to townwide emergencies. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she opened and managed the Brookline COVID-19 call center, which is where I met her. Cheryl, I've known for years because she's very active and very instrumental in promoting programs for the Domestic Violence Roundtable. During that time, she realized the struggle and isolation older adults were facing without access to technology and developed the Tech Buddies program. Sophie has an MBA in marketing. She currently lives in Brookline with her husband and children and 3 cats, and she's also a potter. And she just returned from Paris, and she can tell us why. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to ask both of you so you two can duke it out. What is the Office of Emergency Management?
So the Office of Emergency Management is the newest office in the town of Brookline. We are actually led by Chief Sullivan, who is the Fire Chief and Emergency Management Director for the town. And my role in the Office of Emergency Management is to help coordinate emergency management activities across the town. We know that our public safety departments all do their jobs very well. Police, fire, DPW when it snows, public health, they all know how to handle the normal run-of-the-mill crises. But when something big, really big happens, like COVID or like a major storm, you need more coordination across departments. And to prepare for those things, we want to make sure we're leveraging all sorts of grants and opportunities to increase our preparedness across all town departments. And so that's where my role comes in.
Sophie, what about your role? You're the Tech Buddies superstar. What is it?
So I continue my project, the EP Buddies program. The Tech Buddies is just a spin-off from the EP Buddies program. Just because of COVID pandemic, we can't go into people's homes. We can't really have group presentations like we used to. You know, I continue with my program, and then I'm also supporting, you know, Cheryl with any, you know, things that need to be done with the Office of Emergency Management. So if there's any, you know, when we did COVID clinics, for example, you know, I'll be support there. You know, if we had to reopen a call center, I would, you know, go back and reopen the call center. So I'm going to be there and, you know, support any actions that need to be done in the Office of Emergency Management as well.
But Sophie, I don't know what the EP Buddies program is. I never heard of it until Cheryl told me about the fabulous grant she got for Tech Buddies.
So it's the Emergency Preparedness Buddies program. So the program is a it helps elders or adults living alone with disabilities be prepared for emergencies. So it started with a one-on-one program where we had a volunteer who was trained and an elder, they would be matched, and then the volunteer would go into the buddy's home and evaluate their preparedness needs and help them be better prepared. And we would teach them how to create a go back for themselves, how to create a communication plan in case of an emergency, have a file of life so that all their medical records are in one place. So if something happens to them and they come and get them, the ambulance comes, they know to go get the file of life, and the doctors know exactly what's going on with this person. So how to shelter in place, what they need to have in their home to shelter in place. So any aspect of emergency preparedness is looked at for their individual needs. And then we also have a what we call the village buddy. And the village buddy is when we go to buildings such as Winco, with Village Way. We go to Center Communities. We go to all those big buildings where they have community rooms, and we'll just talk about one aspect of emergency preparedness at a time with a group of people, and then we give them some homework of things that they can do for themselves to be better prepared.
So has COVID hampered you? It must have. How are you doing it now? Are you doing it on the Zoom? But if they don't have technology, how do they participate?
So we're
Cheryl?
not.
Well, this is why we came up with the Tech Buddies program. Part of why we came up with the Tech Buddies program. Lots of elders can't necessarily afford Wi-Fi in their own homes or the technology to access it. So they have in the past, many of them used shared resources at the libraries or in community rooms. They can go and use a computer for a little while and then go home. When COVID hit, that wasn't available to happen anymore. And so many seniors found themselves without access to the internet. We all know that there was a big push in the first fall of COVID last year to make sure that families who couldn't afford internet or didn't have that access already got that access so that the kids could go to school. However, there wasn't such a big push for elders, and so they didn't have the ability to Zoom with their family or friends or order meals or food to be delivered to their homes. They didn't have the capability of doing a virtual phone call, a virtual appointment with their doctors. This was a much bigger problem than Sophie not being able to get into their, to get to them to do the emergency preparedness. So we knew we needed to do something, and we wrote for a grant, and we're given it in the, we were awarded in April, this grant, to help us prepare for whatever comes next.
And how much was the grant, Cheryl? How much is the grant?
We got $28,000 from MAPC to buy tablets and to provide up to 12 months of free internet service for qualifying elders. Yep. And
so who qualifies? Sophie, who qualifies for this program?
So to qualify, you have to be a Brookline resident, 60 years old or over, or you have to be an adult living alone with a disability.
Wait, of any age, Sophie, of any age? Like
60 years old or older, or any age adult
with a
living
disability.
alone with a disability.
So you could be 25, an adult with a disability, and you would qualify, am I correct?
Yes, there is also an income component. So you have to be low income. So if you live at Brookline Housing Authority, you automatically qualify. But if you don't, if you participate in any public assistance program, you would qualify. Or if you make below, I think it's 25,700 something for one person, then you would qualify as well. There's also a threshold for a couple. So we're trying really to target people that really need it the most. The other thing that we're doing right now is that if you already have technology, so let's say you already have a tablet or a computer, but you don't have internet access, we'll provide you the internet access. We won't provide you the tablet because you already have it. So we're going to try to keep it for somebody that really doesn't have it and needs it.
Right.
Vice versa, if you only have internet, but you don't have a computer or a tablet, then we will provide you with a tablet, but not the internet connection. So we're really
So-
trying to help as many people as we can in the community to have access to those technologies.
So how does one apply? How does one notify you that, listen, I either have internet or I don't, or I either have a tablet or I don't? How do they get into this fabulous program, particularly if you are a victim of domestic violence whose resources and world has shrunk during COVID? Yeah, Cheryl?
That's truth. So we're partnering with the Office of Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Relations, and people can call that office. They can call Sarah Kaplan, who is our ADA coordinator for the town, and her number is 617-730-2329. Or you can,
617-730-2329,
yep,
right? And maybe
or
we
you
can
can-
run that at the bottom of the show later on.
that'd be
What
great.
about calling you?
And if they have the ability to email, they could also email skaplan, Kaplan, skaplan@brooklinema.gov.
But can they contact Cheryl or Sophie?
We'd rather not. Sarah is really
Okay.
great at going through all of the
Okay.
qualifications. And then all of the people who qualify for the program, she sends their information over to Sophie, who takes it from there.
Right. They
And-
can also sign up to the Council on Aging. They can contact Maria Foster at 617-730-2644. And she can also do the pre-qualification process with them. And if they are BHA residents, they can contact their management or Springwell representative, and they can also do the pre-qualification process with them. So
So
there's
there are multiple
ways.
ways to sign
Yes.
up, right? And
Yes.
this information is being disseminated to those who would be interested. What has the response been from seniors or those who are disabled?
So we've had about 50 people call to go through the pre-qualification process. Like I said, not everybody qualified for the program, but we have about, I would say 35, no, I think we have 37 people now that qualify for the program.
And we're working to get the technology out to them now. Some of the things that we've done with this program so far is we've ordered tablets and had volunteers come in and set them up so that they are all set up exactly the same way. This makes it much easier for us to help with problems and troubleshoot because we know that the tablets are all set up the same way. We're also preloading some applications that they might need onto these tablets so they don't even have to download and put them on. So access to, say, activities at the library or being able to
Great.
bring out a piece of media online and use it from the library and borrow that is possible through these tablets, as well as a number of other things that Sophie can go through.
Yeah, so the tablet is, I mean, we had a lot of meetings with different parties in town to figure out how we were gonna deliver a tablet that wouldn't be completely vanilla, but that wouldn't be overwhelming as well. So it's organized by theme. So there's a Town of Brookline folder, there's a food folder, there's a transportation folder, there's a utility folder, there's an entertainment folder. And so,
Wow,
you know,
that's
we
great.
have Zoom and we have Skype and we have Duo in, you know, in a folder. We have a link to the food pantry in another folder. We'll have links to the MBTA in a different folder. We'll have links to what did I say? All the
Library.
library will have like, we have like Hoopla, we have Libby, and we have another one.
Canopy? Do you have
Canopy,
Canopy?
thank you, yes. And if you have a library card, you have access to those programs. And I know for Canopy, you get 5 free movies a month.
Yep,
With Libby, you can read books online.
anything. I do Libby. Yeah,
It's
Libby's great. and I
wonderful
do-
program, and the library has a lot of technology help too available through the library. We've been partnering with the library on this as well. Some of our partners in this program include the Council on Aging and the Senior Center, the Brookline Public Libraries, the Office of Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Management or Community Relations, and then also the Brookline Housing Authority has been a huge partner helping us to reach out to people.
Cheryl, do you think there's room for a partnership with a domestic violence roundtable? Because we're going to begin using one program a month. Corbin and I just discussed it with and Rita McNally. One time a month, we're going to Zoom the domestic violence roundtable meeting. I'd love it if there could be some sort of a link. Is there a link to
Absolutely.
Big? Is there a
I
link to
believe
Big?
is there a link to Big?
Mm,
There will
yes,
be.
there is a link. Yes,
Oh, I
there
didn't
is
mean
a
to
link
go
to
off
Big.
script.
There
Sorry.
is, no, there is one. We have a
Okay,
link.
so
to
maybe we could talk offline about hooking up the domestic violence roundtable meeting, because I think particularly now, seeing what I'm seeing in my practice, the isolation is really overwhelming. And people are afraid to reach out. They don't know where to reach out. And I have a question because I am so technologically, as Sophie knows, unsavvy. What happens if you screw up on your technology? Who do you call for an immediate fix, not a week later, like then and there? Can you do remote sessions to sort of help the person go through and try to fix it? Because that's what I have to do daily.
Well, I'll tell you, Susan, we don't have operators standing by, unfortunately. However,
Okay.
we do have a group of volunteers that Sophie's worked with, and they're really willing to work on a regular basis. So somebody's working in the daytime, somebody's working in the evenings. They can check and get back to you, not necessarily right away, but they'll get back to you within a day, certainly.
That's right
Sometimes
away.
a lot sooner. Yeah.
That's right. But Cheryl, can they do it remotely?
Yes,
Or is it
everything
too
is,
hard for the, go ahead, I'm sorry.
we don't know yet. This is like, we just started delivering tablets. So we have very few phone calls. We've had a few to our helpline. So far, we've always been able to pick up well, we don't pick up the phone, but we were able to get the voicemail in a timely manner and answer in a timely manner. And we were able to help them remotely.
We also have a set of instructions that goes out with every tablet. Did you have a binder here?
I have the binder.
Yeah, but are they clear? Would I understand them? I bet I wouldn't.
Oh my goodness, Susan. This is, you're gonna love this. Yeah, okay.
So we have a binder. I'm just gonna not.
Hold it up right there,
All
a
right.
tech support binder. However, once you see these pages, oh, it's not screen.
Yeah.
Go ahead, how to use screen zoom.
So for example, you know, if people needed help with Zoom, how to use screen Zoom, and then it would be, you know, a very
Wow.
visual thing, a step by step. So, you know, you would, you
Listen,
know.
you should sell the binder at the Booksmith. I need a binder. I'm serious. This is great.
This is
Terrific.
awesome. Our volunteers have been working, so it's really a visual step by step, and it has all kinds of things. It starts from how to power on and off your computer, your tablet, to how to, you know, how to download an app, how to, you know,
Use Zoom,
I mean, it
how to
really,
use the canopy. All of these things are detailed. It's 186 pages at the moment. We also have it on a website so that there is a link on the tablet so that the user can get it right there and then. And as we add more things, they'll have it even if they don't have the updated binder.
Oh my God, you guys have done an amazing job. This is such a wonderful resource,
Sophie,
all of
Sophie
you.
did it.
Because it sounds like it's across the town. You're dealing
Yes.
with diversity and inclusion. You're dealing with the library. Now you're
I-
going to deal with domestic violence roundtable. You're dealing with police, right? Is there an emergency app of something that you could just go on and say help? Because that's really necessary for elders who are being abused.
There's not an emergency app. However, we do have information available about how to stay safe on the internet. We have information that we're giving to the people that we're working with about how to avoid scams and try and be safe online and protecting their passwords, things like that. And as we go forward, once we've gotten these tablets out into the world and helped people connect to the internet, we're still working on that part. We've almost finalized the contract with Comcast to start setting people up. As soon as we get through this first delivery process, then we'll be working with people who we've given these tablets to help them with other things, including emergency preparedness and how to access resources when they need them.
How long does somebody get to keep the tablet? And can they keep it forever?
They keep it forever. It is for them.
And the Wi-Fi,
We
how
set them up.
long?
If we set them up on internet, the first 12 months will be paid. If they qualify for the low-cost internet through Comcast, however, I believe it's only $10 a month.
It's $9.95 a month.
So after the first 12 months, then they'll pay the internet fee, but they won't have to pay for the tablet.
And they'll still get tech support from you?
So we're hoping that, yes, they will get tech support from us. As long as we have volunteers that are willing and happy to do it, we will continue the tech support. I have to say that the Brookline High School students have been amazing. I have them reach out to me. Every week I get one or two BHS students reaching out to me, wanting to be part of the Tech Buddies program and knowing how they can help with this program. So I'm really hopeful that, you know, we can continue having this relationship with BHS students and keep this tech support going on for a long time.
However, even if this tech support can't continue, there are tech support resources in town. If you live at BHA, there are tech support resources there at BHA, at Brookline Housing Authority properties. There are also tech resources at the Brookline Senior Center and at the Brookline Public Library. And those are available for everybody in town. So nobody has to qualify for those tech support services.
Wow, this is an amazing program. I bet we're one of the few communities that have such a program. Thank you, Cheryl and Sophie. Incredible work, because particular, I'm getting calls from seniors who have been isolated for a year and a half. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to do it. They don't know anything about a safety plan during COVID, which is something none of us have really addressed, at least that I know of in the domestic violence world. Safety plans during COVID are very, very different. You know, it's not enough to go to Stop and Shop and slip a little piece of paper to the clerk and say, please have the police come to my home. So I'm just wondering how we can use this. This is a fabulous, fabulous program. We are so lucky. Do you visualize going in person soon to meet with prospective, I'm going to say, clients for this program, or no? No,
we already do, actually. When we deliver the tablets, we go in person to the participant's home to deliver the tablet. We give them basic education on how to use the tablet if they need to. We finalize the setup for them. So when we go into the home, we put the tablet on their Wi-Fi. We set up some accounts. So we put an antivirus on their tablets, so that we'll do that when we get into their home. We'll show them how to download an app, how to delete an app. So
how to get an email address.
Yeah, we'll set up their email on their tablet. We'll also look at the accessibility features for them. So
what do you mean accessibility features? I don't understand that.
So for example, if the font is very small, we can make it bigger so they see the tablet, they can read it better. We can bold. If they have hearing aids and they need to be paired with a tablet, we can help them download the app and help them with that as well. So we depending on the individual, we will, do a few things in their home. So we are starting to go into people's home. It's one-on-one. It takes about an hour to set it up. Some people might need more. In that case, we will make another appointment and come back. I think an hour at a time is enough.
More than enough.
This is
More
one
than
of the
enough.
reasons why we want to partner with so many of the departments that already exist in town. Emergency management, the Office of Emergency Management, we don't have a ton of resources. You're looking at it right here.
I know that, but you're fabulous, you two. Fabulous.
But our partnership with the Senior Center led us to all these accessibility ideas. We had no idea that there was, I knew you could make the font bigger on your tablet or your laptop, but I had no idea that you could pair your hearing aid with your device to help make that connection better. And it's just amazing what you can do these days with technology. So a lot of seniors are like, oh, I don't want to.
I'm afraid.
Too much. I'm afraid I'll break it, whatever.
Yep.
You can't break the tablet, not unless you're like going to throw it in your washing machine or something.
Soon.
I don't
the minute I
suggest you do
retire.
that. but this is a really simplified way for people to learn a lot about specific apps and things that will help them. So many apps are out there and you just don't know which ones are good for you.
Exactly.
And that's what we're trying to do here, is help quiet all that noise and say, okay, here's what you need to get started. Right. Get started with this, and then maybe you'll learn more and do more.
So where did you two get the idea for this tech buddy? Seriously, that's so clever.
I think I got the idea when we were doing the call center, to be honest. And when all these people were calling us, when the vaccination started with, the group 1, phase 1 or phase 2, I can't remember what it was, and all the people were calling the call center because you had to make your appointment online and they didn't have the technology and they were desperate and they, we couldn't help them because all the appointments were gone by the time the call center was open. And that's when, to me, it was, evident that we needed to bring technology to these people so that they could, have that access.
And one of the great resources over the past year and a half has been the volunteer community within this town. Everybody's so generous with their time. One of the reasons we're getting so many high schoolers who are eager to help out with this program is because a lot of high schoolers actually helped people make appointments for vaccines earlier this year. And so they understand the situation a lot better than they ever did too. So I love how this is creating more community, more opportunities for neighbors to help neighbors, and for people who are young and know how to do this stuff because they've been doing it since they were born almost, to help those of us who are older and didn't learn this in our formative years and need more help and need more help and assistance and hand-holding to get started, because we all needed help and assistance and hand-holding to get started, right? Even those young tech kids, their parents were right there helping them learn it. So trying to learn this in a vacuum isn't going to work.
You can't do it. I'm living proof. You cannot do it. And I have a little 4-year-old grandnephew who we Zoom every Sunday. And that's really hard because when he was 2, he really didn't talk very well. So to spend an hour with a 2-year-old to discuss trucks was tough on me. I had such a headache, but now he speaks beautifully. He's 4 and he's trying to explain to Aunt Susan how to hook up my Zoom to my television. Can you believe this?
Oh,
a little
my
4-year-old. And I got halfway there and then we had to cut it off because I had such a headache. But this program is, I had a terrible headache, honestly. And then there's the dog in the bathroom, in the back, barking. But this program is going to be such a help to the seniors in Brookline, such a help. I know the isolation and it's scary. They're afraid to call for help. They're afraid help won't come. They're feeling very, very alone. They trust people less than they did pre-COVID because they've been so isolated. They're anxious. So this is just so wonderful. I'm so grateful to you for helping the seniors. Cheryl Snyder, Emergency Management Coordinator. Sophie Gordon, any last words you'd like to say to the public?
I just think we all have opportunities to help each other. And I'm really grateful to live in a community where a lot of people want to be able to help each other. So I live here, I work here, so does Sophie.
Yeah.
And we're really, really proud of what we can help and bring to this community, and hopefully we'll all be more resilient in the future.
I
We
hope
can't
so. Thank you
avoid-
both so much. I know personally what you did during COVID because I was one of the helpless volunteers who was always calling Sophie's name all day long to help with the computer. I know you did fabulous, fabulous work. I hope we will not need you going forward for COVID, but if we do, I'm so grateful that you're here, and I know that that call center can open on a dime. Thank you all. Be safe and come back. If there's anything we can do to help you publicize this program, please let us know. Cheryl Snyder, Sophie Gordon, Emergency Management Center. That's it for the Safety Net. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.